Hello everyone, this is day 50 of our live lessons connected with IELTS. If you have any questions about IELTS or you are going to take the IELTS, you can ask any questions. I can help you with your essays, with your whatever you have. Today we're planning to do some speaking, but let's wait for other people to join, okay? And we will try to do some practice today, okay? So Norai, hello, how are you? Norai, you are the first one today. Like the best student, you arrived the first one, and it's very good. How are you? How's your preparation? Have you decided when to take IELTS? Or you haven't? Leonard, hello, happy to see you. How are you? How's your preparation? I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. You see, usually I say that I'm alive, right? But today I want to say that I'm good. So I'm really happy to see you. Norai says, I'm okay, what about you? I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good actually today. And I feel really, how to say it? Really happy to see you, yeah. And I'm really, how to say, really energetic, so to say. So hopefully today we will do some really good practice and we will have some really good questions. On the board here that I've shown below me here, I will write some new vocabulary, some interesting questions today. So if you learn something new today, I will write it there. You can write them down actually. Okay. I'm waiting for the schedule of our IELTS center. What do you mean? Schedule. You mean for preparation or taking IELTS? They haven't released the dates when you can take IELTS. So you want to register for the IELTS, right? Or what? They open dates to until 10th of August. So maybe something is changing. Maybe they're changing the prices. I don't know. Why aren't they showing you the dates? Is it IDP or British Council? Why do they do it so? Taking the test. What kind of center is that? IDP, British Council, or something else? Why they don't show the whole month? Very interesting. Yes, for IDP. Okay. Okay. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about speaking, and I told you that in order to get a good score in speaking, you should have you should practice as many questions as possible, right? As many topics as possible. So we can just look at some questions until others join. Okay, so I will not look at your questions for a little bit. Okay, so I will be answering the questions in the speaking test. Okay, as you remember, we entered the, how do you call it, speaking 9 or your IELTS.ru. Okay, let's see. Speaking part 1. Yeah, let's practice speaking part 1. Work and studies. Can you see it clearly? Let me show it to you. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. The price is the same in Pavlodar. They opened in August, and we don't need to go to Astana. They just opened. Maybe they are preparing something. The location, the computers, maybe. Right? So maybe it takes some time. Okay, so you have to know how to talk about work. You have to know how to talk about accommodation. Here are the topics, right? And also you have to know how to talk about your hometown or your country, where your country or hometown is located, since when do you live there, what's interesting about this city, do you like being in this city? So these type of questions. And some new questions are my August 2026. Do we have any newer questions? My August 2026, let's see. I think they are the same. Watches, tidiness. So have we talked about watches? I think so. We have talked about tidiness. We haven't talked about history. So one of the difficult topics in speaking part is, I think, talking about history. Okay, shall we talk about history a little bit? Do you mind? Ағай, райтингті реально GPT мен көтеруге болады ма? Көп адамдар өтірік жасайды деп, өтірік мақтап алдай салады дейді. Ондай бар, өтірік айту бар, өтірік мақтай салады деген тоже бар. Ол неге олай істейді? Потому что сіз чат GPT-ді тренировка жасамадыңыз. Ондай болу үшін тренированный чат GPT болу керек. Окей? Чат GPT негізі көмектеседі, мен де қолданам оқушыларым үшін. Бірақ оның отчеттары басқаша. Смотрите, менікі мақтамайды. Қазір көрсетейінші бір отчетты сендерге. Мысал ретінде ше. Let me show it to you. How can I show it to you? Так, қазір көрсетейін, подождите. Вот это, например. Вот смотрите, вот как он показывает, вот как мой чат GPT показывает. Вот так вот, давайте я вам покажу. Вот смотрите. Окей. Wajiha, how are you? Hello, happy to see you. How are you doing? I'm showing Nurai how to use ChatGPT for IELTS writing. She says that some people say that you can improve your writing using IELTS, using ChatGPT, and many people say that ChatGPT wouldn't help. So I'm showing how to use it. Okay, just for information. So my ChatGPT, first of all, I have been training my ChatGPT to correctly give a band and how to check it, according to what samples to check it. I have been training it for 3 years. 3 years of training. All of the courses, all of the material that I've been teaching on YouTube, I taught ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT knows all of my material. Okay, so it's like my co-teacher. He knows everything that I know. He checks all of the writing according to my material, to the books that I have shown that I have uploaded to ChatGPT. That's why when it checks based on the material that I have shown it. But if you haven't trained your ChatGPT, if you haven't shown ChatGPT what a good sample looks like, it would check it like generally, according to the information available on the internet, not the specific information that you have shown. That's why when you check it using ChatGPT, it might be a little bit strange. Okay, so how my ChatGPT checks it? First of all, it gives a band score. For example, we checked it, and it says what issues we have. Okay, so it says in task response, grammar, and logic. Okay, it gives a band score for the essay that I have shown him. For example, my student wrote an essay. I upload it to ChatGPT and say check it according to, like, I can say just check it, and it will check it based on my material. Okay, and it will show all the criteria. Task response. Okay, I got my student got 6 on task response, and it gave comments why it got 6, and it says what to improve. Okay, it says, for example, you don't really address the negative impact directly, so you missed something. Also, another criteria is coherence and cohesion, clear paragraphing, logical progression. Okay, so transitions between among paragraphs and transition between the sentences, everything was great. It's 7. Lexical resource, using many words, using them correctly, some grammar mistakes or like spelling mistakes, collocations, okay, and it gave 6.5. Grammar, it checks grammar separately. It checks vocabulary, and also it checks grammar. It shows 6. Okay, and overall gives 6.5, and it says what is not correct, what prevents. No, just a second. Okay, also at the very end, it gives an overall band, and it says what prevents you, what mistakes have you made that made your score lower. Okay, then it says what mistakes have you made in the introduction, some words, sentence after sentence, word after word. It gives you all of the, okay, for example, all of the mistakes in the introduction part. Okay, then all of the mistakes in the first body paragraph. Then it gives in the second body paragraph. Then it gives in the conclusion. Okay, your biggest problem is this one. Okay, then it gives what would it change for band 7. Okay, it gives a structure. So it gives a structure how to write your essay. You see? Then it will give you a version. Let me show it to you. It gives you a version of the same essay that you have written, but it improved it a little bit. It made it corrected the grammar mistakes. It corrected the vocabulary mistakes. Also, it corrected the idea mistakes. Like, for example, if your idea is not developed properly, it would add some examples, some support in order to make it look better. Okay, so it made it better. So this one is corrected version, corrected band 7 version. So it's a better version of the essay that I have written, that my student has written. So it can get 7.5. That we sent was 6.5. Okay, and you can learn many things from here. Okay, and it would get 7 and 7.5. That's how I use it. Okay, so you can use it this way as well if you want. But you have remember that you have to train your ChatGPT. Without proper training, your ChatGPT will show just general information. You have to train it. You have to give it the information that it would learn from. You have to give it the books, the samples. You can just sit with your ChatGPT and give it the samples that you want to that you want it to know. For example, I have sent my ChatGPT many samples. I have sent it many structures. And I have sent it my own materials that I've been teaching. Okay, and I told him, base your knowledge on this information, not general information from the internet. Okay, it's like your assistant that you have to train. If you don't train it, it will check just generally. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Leonard, you can learn writing here also. Okay. Wajiha, hello. How are you? I'm good. I'm really good today. How are you? How is your preparation going? Я білем ағайдың шаблондарын жазам, бәрін бір жай граммар деген қателерді көруге. Окей. Жоқ, ChatGPT-ді шынымен қолдануға болады же, ол көмектеседі, қатты көмектеседі. Просто дұрыс қолдану керек та оны. Оған информация бермесең, ол жалпы қылып тупо тексере салады да. Так, Марамруабех. Hi, am I late again? No, you just entered, just in time. Okay. I'm good, alhamdulillah. Okay. Bek Sultan, hello, Bek Sultan, how are you? I was waiting for today's class from 9 p.m. Okay, so, Ruh, let me call you Ruh, okay? It's much more convenient. So, lessons will start every day by Astana time, by Kazakhstan time, at 9 in the evening. I don't know what time is in your country, but in Kazakhstan, it's 9 o'clock in the evening. It will start every day at 9. Okay. Alsu, hello, how are you? Happy to see you. Maram Robert, is English your mother language? Because your accent says no. My English is not my native language. My native language is Kazakh language. Okay. I have an accent, but don't worry about the accent because accent is not a problem. I mean, in IELTS speaking, they will not check your accent. They will not look at your accent. Also, teacher, you said yesterday to remind that we will talk about speaking. Yeah, just starting. Also, one question. Our writing task is checked by human in real examination. This is a good question. About 5 years ago, I would say that people check it, that human checks it. But now, I'm not sure about it. Maybe they are using the artificial intelligence, maybe. Because how would they give you your band score on the next day? How would they be able to give you your band score for 100 people on the next day without using a computer? Maybe they are using the computer, like a ChatGPT, for example. So maybe yes. So probably there is a high probability that it's a computer checking. Okay, so it's nighttime here and it's getting late. I usually get scolded for staying up late, so I have to go to bed now. Yeah, you can go to bed. You can watch it tomorrow. No problem. The live lesson will be on my channel tomorrow. You can watch it tomorrow. Okay, don't worry. Okay, let's talk about history. Today we are having a lesson about history. So, do you like history? You can answer these questions in the comments. Okay, I will read your answers and tell is it a good answer or bad answer. And I will give my own answer. So my answer is, do you like history? Well, to be honest, I understand that history is very important. And I also know that it's very important for a person to know his history. But for me personally, history is not a subject that makes me excited. Okay, it's not something exciting that I want to learn. And also, I think it depends on a good phrase. Depends on. Let me write a good. I will also write some good phrases. It depends on. Okay, so it depends on. Question. Do you like? So the question is do you like history? Okay, so it depends on the way that history is shown. For example, if a history is shown something like storytelling in the form of storytelling, then yes, it is certainly a very interesting subject. But the way that I was shown history at school, unfortunately, is not that exciting. That's why in my mind I have I've developed a stereotype. I have developed a stereotype. Let me write it down. Develop a stereotype. So in my mind, I have developed a stereotype from my experience that history is boring. In fact, when I was at school, history was the most boring class, the most boring subject among all subjects. And we would, when I was at how do you say it? When I was at the graduating class, okay, when I was at my last year at school, we even had plan. We even used to plan something, or we used to plan to learn something else. For example, mathematics or other subjects, when we had a history lesson, because history was that boring for us. I don't know, maybe it depends on the teacher, maybe it depends on I think it mostly depends on the excitedness or being interested in the subject of the teacher, because our teacher was not that interested in the subject, and it was obvious that this teacher, how to say it, wasn't fond of our class, because we were the most deviant class, the hardest class to control. That's why teacher hated us and we hated the teacher's subject. It was a no love situation. Okay, so okay. Ruh, good night. I see it every day, sir. Please guide me first. After that, I'll have to leave. I watch the lectures again the next day. What do you mean to guide you? To guide you what? You can start watching my videos from the day 1. No, day 3 or 5, because then I started to do it in English. Okay, if I talk in other languages, you can just skip it or watch with the subtitles. Okay, definitely yes. Okay, Big Sultan says about the history. Definitely yes. Okay, let's see. Because you can learn a lot from our ancestors, their mistakes, and try to avoid them. Yes, good answer. I'm not interested in history because to learn, it's boring. Because it's boring to learn. It's boring to learn history. Moreover, at school, my teacher who taught me wasn't good. Moreover, my teacher who taught me at school, who taught me history at school, wasn't good. Okay, so your words are correct, but placing the words are incorrect. So you have to put them in different order so that your sentence would sound more natural. Okay. Okay, sir, today's homework was to practice 10 listening questions for part 1 listening test. Today I completed part 1 of test for Cambridge Book 19. Okay, sir. No problem. For today, you can practice also listening. Just keep doing listening. Okay, until you are confident. Tomorrow, I will explain part 2. Okay, tomorrow, you can watch tomorrow's lesson later, and I will explain you listening part 2, and then you will move to part 2. Don't worry. Okay. Also, жалғасы, but if my teacher would taught me well, maybe I was fond of it. Conditional, да? Если бы он вот так делал, то былай болар еді. Былай істегенде. But if my teacher taught me well, вот, unreal situation. Вот если бы он это делал, if my teacher would have taught me well, I would have taught me. Кто знает conditional? Я в conditional. If my teacher taught me well, I would probably be fond of it. I would probably be fond of it. I would probably be fond of it. Алсу. Чуть попроще сделайте. Чуть адам басын қатырып жібердіңіз. Сәл попроще. Так, yeah, that's fine, okay. Leonard, actually, yes, I am fond of history. I am fond of history. Дұрыстап айтамыз. Since, or I have been fond of history. I have been fond of history, потому что там есть since. Since болса бізде present perfect қолданады. Since for деген бізде present perfect қолданатын сөйлем болу керек. Yes, I have been fond of history since my childhood. For example, I watched a lot of video materials related to ancient history. Окей, хорошо. Video materials емес, мынақта documentaries десеңіз болады. Documentaries это у нас эти документальные фильмы. Дальше. After getting older. Elder емес, older. Elder деген ол жасы үлкен адам деген сөз. Жасы үлкендер деген сөз. Старшие люди. А older, когда я стала старше. After getting older, I started to visit. Нәрде уақыт сәл-пәл дұрыс емес ойлаңыз. I started to visit museums. Просто museums. The museums емес, просто museums. And nowadays, қазіргі уақытта, when I am in a foreign country, I was емес, мен болған кезде емес, қазір мен барсам, мен барғанда. When I am in foreign countries, когда я в зарубежных странах. Бірақ foreign country, when you visit foreign country, you are only in one foreign country. You cannot be in foreign countries. You are in one foreign country. Поэтому исправляем. When I am in a foreign country, I always plan. Вот, это лучше подать. I always plan visiting historical museums. Plan to visit емес. Plan visiting. То есть я планирую посещение, баруды пландаймын. Okay? One of my biggest plan is visiting Egypt. One of my biggest plan. Okay. Бәсе бір нәрсе дұрыс емес деп қоямын. Okay. Вот сол сөздердің орындары сәл-пәл мынандай. Хорошо. Leonard, because a lot of ancient historical events were also there. Was емес, was деген бір штук. Ана жақта events болып тұр. Events көпше түрі. Получается were also мен орын ауыстырамыз. Were also there. I visited Athens and it was amazing. Okay. Additionally, I believe that the most important and famous events from centuries come for us. Events from centuries come for us. Соңғы сөйлем түсінбедім ше, Леонард. I believe that the most important and famous events from centuries come for us. Comes for us. Келеді біз үшін. Что-то мағынасы сәл-пәл андай екен. Что-то там не то. Вот последнее предложение не то. Additionally дегеннен бастап, что-то не то. I'm really interested in history because it's really important for our future and our future children. Our future children. And future children емес, future generations десе болады. Future, будущие дети. Будущие дети деген орысшада, қазақшада дұрыс да, бірақ неде айтылмайды, ағылшында өйтіп айтылмайды. Future children деп айтылмайды. Future generations десе болады. Будущее поколение, вот сол лучше подойдет. And I think every person who is Kazakh have to know his own history. Their емес, олардың емес, every person деп тұрсыз ғой, бір адам болып тұр ғой. Поэтому his history болады. Okay, good night everyone. Рух, good night. Нұрай. In addition, for me, history is fascinating. Additionally, in addition, келема, in addition десе болады, ладно. History is fascinating to me. To me, for me. For me это предназначается мне, маған арналған деген сөз. To me, маған, мне. For me емес, to me болады. Бек Султан, yes, many times, but I didn't enjoy it because my father was a history teacher, so I had to visit lots of them, but not anymore. Okay, хорошо. Your father was a history teacher. Lucky you. Maybe you heard many interesting stories connected with the history, because our teacher wasn't that interested in the history. Maybe it was because of us. I don't know. We would misbehave on the history lesson. Yes, I have been to historical museums in several times. No, I have been to historical museums several times because my university insisted on going there. To there, емес, просто there. If you talk about museums, it also gives me some experience. It also gives me some experience, and I try to feel the power of those epochs. Of that эпохалар деген қалай болады? Epochs бола ма? S қосыла ма соңында? Леонард қалай болады екен? Okay, so let's look at, пока жауап беріп жатқанда мына жерде басқа сұрақтарға жауап берейік. Have you ever been to historical museums? Вот смотрите. In fact, I haven't been to any museums. No, I have been. I'm lying. Don't believe me. Бәрінің сөйлем ұзақ, менікі ғана екі сөйлемнен тұрады дейді. Жоқ, нормально. Екі сөйлем, үш сөйлем соны жетіп жатыр. Қатты ұзақ сөйлем жасау тоже проблематично, потому что өзіңіз шатасып қаласыз. Okay, have you ever been to historical museums? Yes, I have. Первое, да, смотрите, strategy. First, you answer the question. Let me show you the strategy. First, you answer the question. Then, you explain the question. That is, you can add some details. You can say it in other words. Or you can say, in other words, for example, you can say, yes, I like museums. In other words, blah, blah, blah. Or you can explain it, just give some detail. then you can give some examples. This is a strategy. Okay, let me answer this question. Have you ever been to historical museums? Yes, actually, I have been to many historical museums, but unfortunately, I still haven't visited museums outside Kazakhstan. Okay, and it's one of my biggest dreams, so to say, to visit the great museums in like the most famous museums of the world. For example, in Europe there are many museums, many famous museums, and also in America, for example, in New York, there is a very, very famous historical museum, and I want to visit those places and to see it in person. I want to experience it myself. Okay, and to be honest, I'm not really fond of visiting museums actually, but if I have a chance, I would go there. If I have a chance, I will go there to learn something, like to see it in person, to feel the vibe of those eras, and also maybe to learn something new that I didn't know. Okay, and I prefer to go there with a guide, with a tour guide, not just by myself, because if I go there just by myself, I wouldn't know the background story of each installation that is there. So that's why I think it's very important to gather with a person who has the information about different times. Okay. As I said before, my father is a former history teacher, so when I was younger, he was trying to make me learn. Make somebody do something, not make somebody to do something. Make somebody do something. Too kerigimiz nerede? He was trying to make me learn, but with his strange ways, since I hate with his strange ways. But in his strange way. In, not with his strange way. In his strange way. Since then, сол уақыттан бастап, since then, I hate history since I was a child. Yeah, since then, I hate history. Точка. Since then, I hate history. После этого мен оны жек көремін. Very sad story, Big Sultan, to be honest. I think you shouldn't, Big Sultan, I would recommend you not to associate history with your father, because in fact history is very interesting thing. If your story is true, then I think you should reconsider your association with history. Okay, just a second. Okay, сейчас отвечу. Okay, about history. Do you like history when you were young? Did you like history? As I said before, no. I wasn't really fond of history, mainly because of my teacher. Because that teacher would scold everyone if we didn't know even the slightest detail. Okay, and we thought, the whole class which I was studying, where I was studying, thought that it was unfair. Just because of that unfairness that we have experienced on the lesson, on those lessons, we the whole class got a childhood trauma, if I can say so, connected with the history. But now, as I got older, I started to reconsider those decisions. That's why now I'm interested. Yes, it's a very interesting topic, actually. Subject. It's a very interesting subject and very important. But unfortunately, because of some people, many students would actually might actually hate this, or might think that it's a boring subject. In fact, it's not. Okay, next question. When was the last time you read about history? To be honest, I don't really read about history, but rather I watch some videos about history because they are much more entertaining with the visual, like they help you visualize it. They help you with the visual aids, like how was it at their time. And it helps me to dive into the history itself, like I'm there to have a much deeper experience. Okay, the last time was probably last week. I was watching a documentary about Roman Empire, how they got to rise, and what caused them to fall, and what laws was there, what laws were there, and also what modern laws took, which modern laws were taken from the Roman Empire. It was actually very interesting. So that was my last time. Okay, I have been to the Louvre Museum. I have been in Nimes. I have been to Louvre Museum, Acropolis Museum, Vienna Historical Museum, Karlplatz, and our Kazakhstani museums. Leonard, if it's true, then you are very lucky that you have experienced such a great variety of museums. They are very interesting, actually. So, Leonard, let me ask you this question. Which one was the most interesting? Which one is your favorite? Louvre Museum, Acropolis, Vienna, Karlplatz, or Kazakhstani museums? Which one is the was the most interesting, and which one was the biggest one? Maybe Louvre was the biggest one because I haven't been there, and I believe that many people haven't been there. Can you tell us more about it? Can we learn more about the museums? And if you can say, can you please tell when were you there? Was it recently, or maybe it was a long time ago? Okay, and while she's answering the question, so in the speaking, so let me develop a stereotype. What other words were we using? We used depend on, develop a stereotype, experience something, right? What else? Some other words. I don't really remember those words. You can write them down actually if you want. Okay, so today we were talking about history. What else can we talk about? When I was young, I visited only our regional Pavlodar museums, and they impressed me. Okay, a lot of them showed me about two world wars, Second World War, about brave people and our country. A lot of them showed me about. Maybe you learned a lot about something. You learned a lot about something. Да? Типа такого. Хорошо. Так. Speaking қалай болды? Нормально болды ма? Пойдет па? Более-менее бір новый зат үйрендіңдер ма? Айтыңдаршы, пожалуйста, айтыңдаршы, не үйрендіңдер? Бір қызық бірдеңе болды ма? Новый зат үйрендіңдер ма? Что мына жақта не болып кетіп жатыр? Сәл-пәл не қылайық та бүйтіп. Энергичный болайық та сәл-пәл. Что-то езіліп кетіп жатырмыз. It's true, but I want to visit Egyptian. Egyptian museums, yeah, the most famous. They are very famous, yeah. When I was young, I wasn't interested in history because of my teacher. Okay, let's talk about reading. Okay, let's talk about reading. What can we talk about reading? Reading-та именно қандай проблема? Қай бөлігі, қай несі, давай соны көрейік. Speaking-пен что-то езіліп кеттік. Жоқ, нормально, смотрите, қазір біз история туралы сөйлестік қой. Енді келесіде осы история туралы мына жерде идеялар болды, менің идеям, қыздардың, жігіттердің идеялары болды. Соларды оқып, көріп, кішкене қиналдық, сәл іш пысқандай болды. Енді смотрите, қазір барып ана неге барамыз ғой? Экзаменға барасыңдар ғой. Сол жерде тарих туралы бірдеңе сұраса бар ғой, ан жақта жібересіңдер аттың басын. Вот гарантия беремін, ан жақта вообще қиналмайсыңдар. Потому что, мен ол тақырыпты өттім ғой деп өздерің уже уверенно сезінесіңдер, ан жаққа барып қиналмайсыңдар. То есть спикингта стресс болмайды. Осындай тақырыптарды өтіп, стресс вообще болмайды, вообще қиналмайсыңдар, иншалла. Хорошо, поэтому сәл қызық емес болғаны, это нормально. Мына жерде қызық емес болсын, ана жақта оңай болсын зато. Хорошо. I mean, let's do speaking about reading. Let's do speaking about reading. Okay, let's talk about reading. What questions about reading do we have? Let's see. Reading. Қазір табайын да reading дегенді. Work studies, tidiness, history, evening time, sport, films, parks, mirrors, cars, website, shopping, music, teacher, social media, clothes. Так, мына жерде yourielts.ru деген сайтқа кірсеңдер, осы жерден осы тақырыптардың бәрін көре аласыңдар. Jokes, views, building, walking, typing, keys, sport team, scenery, fixing, food, reading. Вот, reading. На тақырып, на сұрақтар. Көрейік. First, так. She hated me and sometimes she picked holes in my knowledge. Picked holes in my knowledge? Так, алсу, picked holes in my knowledge деген, во-первых, олай айтпайды. Сәл несі келмейді, мағынасы келмейді. Because of her, I have... или because of her, I didn't learn many things, можно сказать. Окей, можно, лучше солай айтқан дұрыс. For this reason, I wasn't fond of history. Ну, хорошо. Так, Leonard, it's very interesting time. I tried to visit the whole Louvre in one day, but I'm tired and don't see all of works. Вот обидно, да, Леонард? Луврға барып тұрып, бәрін көре маған обидно. Очень обидно. Қалай Луврға барып тұрып, қалай бәрін көрмейсің? Это как, не знаю, неге кафеге барып, шашлык, алдыңда шашлык тұр да, 6 палка шашлык тұр. Соның үшеуін жейсің да, ой қарным тойды деп қалған үшеуін жемей кетіп қаласың. Как так? Мен Луврда болсам бәрін аралар едім бар ғой. Шаршасам да аралар едім бар ғой. Ай, обидно. Окей, на этом сайте реальные вопросы. Да, реальные вопросы. Leonard, yes, I think I found a lot of mistakes. Yeah, okay. So, Qasim Aslam. Sir, please speak English. I don't understand. Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm mixing some of the languages. Don't worry if you don't understand. Just keep watching. I'm answering the questions of those students. Okay, so if you want to know something, you can write here your questions. No problem, don't worry. You are not missing anything. All the important information I'm saying in English. Okay, all important information are told in English. Don't worry. No problem. Okay, so now Vito Carleone, hello, how are you? Where are you from? Are you from Kazakhstan or other country? Because I need to know where are you from, because I need to know in what language I should speak. So mostly I will speak in English so that everyone would understand. Okay. Teacher, yes, I'm your teacher. How are you? How are you? Are you good? Are you feeling good? Are you preparing for IELTS? Do you need any help? Okay, let's talk about reading. If you see the questions, you can write your answers here. Okay, I will read those answers and then we will discuss your answers. First, do you like reading? Yes. Reading is one of the activities, one of the rare activities that I do, but I really love doing it. That is because since my childhood, I have developed a very rich imagination. Okay, and because of that imagination, when I read any book, especially like a book where with lots of describing, where they describe the scenery, describe what's happening, and the story is very interesting. I read the book like I watch the movie, like in my mind. So when I read the book and it's very interesting, actually for me it seems like I'm not reading a book. It seems like I'm sitting in a cinema and watching a very interesting movie. So that's why I really hate when I watch a movie based on a book, especially when I read the book. Because compared to my imagination, the movie seems like something very vague compared to the original story, because in the movies they usually miss many details that you can get when you are reading the book. That's why I think. Okay, Wales. Oh, Wales, how are you? Say hello to Wales. Okay, Leonard, what about historical films? Who watched Odyssey by Nolan? Who watched Odyssey by Nolan? I haven't watched it yet, but I have read the story. Like the story of Odyssey, I have read it. And to be honest, I don't want to ruin my... How to say it? I don't want to ruin my view on the Odyssey. But yeah, I would like to watch it. But I wouldn't like to watch it on a big screen. I can wait just half a year or 1 or 2 months, and I can watch it later on freely on the internet. I know the experience of watching it on a big screen, going to the cinema, but to be honest, I think that going to the cinema is too overpriced. For example, like 5 or 7 years ago, the price was available, like adequate. The price was adequate and affordable for many people. But nowadays, the tendency that I see with the cinema prices, with the prices of going to the cinema, they are too overpriced. Who would pay around 5,000 tenge for one ticket? That's crazy. I don't understand why they charge so much, so high. I don't know why. Окей, қандай сайт? Это у нас сайт называется... Дайте напишу. The site is how do you call it, your IELTS.ru. So this is a website that we are watching the questions from. This is a website. You can go to this website and you can find the questions, the actual questions that appear on the real exam. You can find the questions on this website, your IELTS.ru. Okay, there are actual questions. You can trust those questions. Sir, I newly joined IELTS course in my city. Okay, and also watch you. Okay, what help can I provide? How can I help you? I'm preparing for IELTS now. My score is 6.57. Oh, really good score. Vito Carlione, do you want to get higher? Do you want to get 8 or 8.5? Okay. Also watch you. Okay. Leonard, and we can discuss about historical films and 2 themes is ready for speaking. Yeah, we can discuss historical films also, because there is a topic about cinema in the IELTS, about cinema, historical movies, and movies in general. We can discuss both of them. Yes, I'm fond of reading because it could broaden your horizon. It can broaden your horizon, one horizon. And also books give us change to escape into another world. Not change, but chance, not G, but C. Okay, to escape into another world. Yeah, it's another way of escaping to your imagination. Okay. Leonard, yes, I like reading, especially fantasy books. Now I don't have enough time to read because of preparation to IELTS. Yeah. If you want to enjoy reading books and also prepare for IELTS, you can read the articles that are on IELTS reading, just for fun. You not to do the not to do the tasks, but you can. I wanna collect all the readings from IELTS, okay, and I want to sit and read them because they are actually very interesting. They're scientific, they're different topics, there are many interesting facts that you can learn, and I want to read them like a book because they are very interesting. Спасибо вам, преподаватель, я из Узбекистана, а вы? Okay, Toichi Hakimov. Hello, how are you? I am from Kazakhstan. Cedric Coffin, hello, happy to see you. Long time no see. How are you? Okay, Toichi, I'm from Kazakhstan. Happy to see you from Uzbekistan. Say hello to Uzbekistan. Leonard, maybe I can start adapted book. I can start adapted book. Yeah, you can start adapted book. So there are many books that are available. You can buy them. Actually, one of the books is The Little Prince, level number 2. It's adapted, easy to read. You can start from those books, but they are too easy. Okay, they are not very advanced. I would recommend you to read the Green Mile. Have you read that book? Green Mile. Very interesting book. Also, guys, do you have any recommendations to Leonard? Which book to read? Because I haven't read that many books. Usually I mostly I have read Kazakh books, not Russian, not English. I've read few English books, but mostly Kazakh books, Kazakh literature. IELTS-тан аз алам ба деп қорқам, маған 6 керек. Жоқ, аз алмайсың, неге қорқып отырсың? Alsu, tell me, please tell me, Alsu, what is your level right now? So, for example, when you do listening, how much you got? When you do reading, how much you get? Tell me, listening and reading, what is your score right now? What is your level? Okay, also, when is your X day? My target is 6.5. Leonard, I think you will get 6.5. I think you should aim for 7. Because 6.5 is too easy for you, I think. You can get 7. Why don't you aim higher? Atomic Habits. Yeah, it's a good book, but it might be a little bit boring because it's a like self-development books. We're talking about some historical books, some interesting stories. Okay. Кстати, Леонард, можете прочитать книгу «Граф Монте-Кристо». Или, как эта книга называлась? Где-то, «Пятница» еще есть. Как он называется? Кристофор, нет, не Кристофор. Как он называется? Том Сойер есть тоже интересная книга. Там посмотреть надо. Okay, my target is Atomic Habits. Okay, what is X, Leonard? X, that means your day of examination. 14th of November. Until 14th you have time. My target is 8. What do you think? Cedric, you will get 8. A good target, yes. I think Cedric's level is really good. He's just sitting here and watching us, but his level is really good. I can feel that. Okay, by the questions that he asks, and also by the answers and by the sentences that he gives. I think Cedric's level is about 8. Yeah, you can get 8 actually. Also, do you have a lot? You have a lot of time. I need to pass in the end of September. Okay, so Big Sultan, your target is 7. Okay. Big Sultan, I think you need to work hard to get 7. You will get about 6 or 6.5, but for 7 you will need to work harder. So Big Sultan, how much time do you spend every day? How many hours do you spend every day on IELTS? Do you learn new words? Like, what is your schedule look like? What are you working on right now? Are you working on listening? Are you working on reading? Or maybe you're learning some new vocabulary? Or maybe you're writing some, I don't know, some writing tasks? What is your preparation look like? Also, speaking 5.5, writing 5.5, reading 4.5, listening 4. 1 month ago. What about now? 6.5 in speaking. Okay. So you will have to work on listening and reading. Especially listening. Why your listening and reading is low? Are you practicing? Also, I would recommend you to start practicing like Ruh. She started practicing only listening and only part 1, only first 10 questions. And she started to improve. She got from 4 out of 10, she got to 7 out of 10. She's making progress. Maybe you should do so. What do you think? Тойчи, вы работаете в университете? Нет, я работаю в школе. В частной школе работаю с учениками. В университет у меня такого желания пока нету. Toichi, why are you asking about the university? Do I look like I work in the university? At the university? Do I look like a professor? Okay, also sometimes I guess in speaking. Okay, also reading and listening lessons is here available. So I use those tricks. Yes, Leonard is doing the right thing. Also, I think you should do the same. Take 1 week. And for example, take 3 days. Okay, next 3 days. 3 days, do only listening, part 1, only 10 questions. Watch my video on listening, part 1. Then do the practice for 3 days or 2 days. Only listening, part 1. You will have a progress. Okay? Especially you got time. You are not in a rush. You are not in a hurry. You got time. So use that time. Okay? Use the time effectively. Don't miss it. Okay, I also became better from the very first test. Yeah, so Leonard also making the progress. Okay? Don't be in a rush. Don't worry that you don't have time. You have time. You can improve your listening and reading. Improving listening and reading easier than speaking and writing. Your speaking and writing is already good. Okay, my listening is now 8 and reading 6.5. Writing 5, speaking 6. I don't know how I should prepare. Okay. Let's see. Your target is 7. Okay, so Big Sultan, in fact, you can get 7. I see your results now, and I think that you can get 7. It's very possible for you. Okay, listening is 8. You can get it to 8.5. I know you can get it. Reading 6.5. You can get your reading to 7 or 7.5. Okay? Try to maximize your reading. Writing should be 6. Your writing should be 6. At least 6. 6 is easy. Just follow the rules, follow the structure, use templates, шаблоны, use templates. Don't make stupid mistakes. Use simple grammar, simple words. You will get 6 easily. Getting 6 in writing is not difficult. And speaking is easy. Like you will get go through many questions and you will get 6 anyway. No problem. So you get 8 on listening. You get 8 or 7 on reading. On writing, you get 6.5 or 6. On speaking, you got 6.5. Your overall level will be 7. Okay, so it's very possible for you to get 7. Okay? Can I send my essay? Yes, you can. Also, my personal advice, you need to improve your general English, grammar, vocabulary. Yes, he's correct. There could be additional books such as Solution, Destination. Without this, vocabulary grammar is hard. Yeah. You can use Solutions. Solutions is a really good book, actually. Also, you can use English File. Also good book. I would recommend you Solutions and English File. Why I recommend those? Because they are Oxford books. They are really good. And their structure is logical. Like their lessons are like the progression is logical. You can follow the progression. You will not be confused. Okay? From my perspective, the circus is still a popular form of entertainment in the modern electronic age. Okay. Still well known for. Okay. You can send the. Okay, so she's sending the. Also is sending your essay. Let's wait. Okay, let's read the beginning. From my perspective, circus is still a popular form of entertainment in the modern electronic age. Is still the circus. The circus. No, not the circus. Конкретный circus емес қой. Просто circus. Generally, да? From my perspective, менің ойымша, да? Но бұл жерде from my perspective там бастамайды ғой writing-та. менің ойымша деп сразу бастамайсыз ғой. Ол жерде жалпы бірдеңе айту керек қой. Қазіргі уақытта или цирк әлі популярны болып жатыр қазіргі уақытта деп сөйтіп general бірдеңе айту керек та. From my perspective, сәл келмейді. Popular form of entertainment in the modern electronic age. There are a few significant reasons for this. In this essay, I will discuss why the circus is still well known for all ages, or among all ages. Of керек емес нәрде. Хорошо. The first, да? The first reason is the price of the circus is budget friendly, while the cost of other forms of entertainment forms уже көпше түрде тұр, entertainment жекеше болады. То есть мына мынау да көпше, мынау да көпше болмайды. Или мынау көпше болады, или мынау көпше болады. Нәрде forms дедіңіз, значит entertainmenттан s түсіп қалады. Are expensive. If people get bored, they can attend или they can go to circus. They can attend деген қатысу деген сөз. Қатысушы болу деген сөз. Attend. Нәрде they can go to circus. Сол жаққа барады дейді. Attend circus without much money. Нет, without wasting much money. Или without spending much money. And it helps them to relax in an easy way. Ну хорошо. The second reason is to go to the circus is fascinating. The second reason is to go to the circus is that it is fascinating. Это то, что оно интересное. Is that it is fascinating. At present time, some people feel tired of gadgets and it's getting uninteresting. And it's getting boring more. Uninteresting as well for individuals. So they want to find other entertaining shows and they attend the circus. Тоже пойдет, да? Attend the circus because there are exotic animals, clowns and dancers. In it дегенді уберите, потому что there are деген тұр. There are деген уже. There are in it. There are dancers in it. There are dancers in it. In it деген сәл келмейтін сияқты. Көріңіз. As a result, they are fascinated by looking at these performances. Fascinated. Entertained, может. Fascinated емес. Entertained. Развлечены, то есть. Entertained. Maybe бірге жазылады. Мүмкін деген сөз. Maybe, for this reason, the circus is still popular nowadays. Okay. The third reason is some entertainers come schools to accumulate funds. Что? Some entertainers come to schools. Мектептерге келеді, может. Come to schools to accumulate funds. Accumulate funds to promote themselves, может. Чтобы рекламировать себя. To promote themselves and show their talents, while other singers and dancers don't do this kind of entertainment. Okay. For instance, when I studied at school, a band of entertainers arrived at my school and we could see what is the circus. We could see what the circus is. То есть цирктың не екенін біз көрдік деген сөз. What the circus is. What is the circus деген, это сұрақ ретінде, да? Сұрақ болмайды, бұл жерде is соңына кетеді. What the circus is. Цирк деген не екенін сол жерде көрдік деген сөз. Afterwards, the entertainers caught my interest, and I have been attending the circus show since my school years. Хорошо. Okay, вот осы жағы дұрыс. In conclusion, the efforts of entertainers and clowns paid off, and the present it brings them more popularity. And at the present, it brings them more popularity. Audience marvel at their skills and performance. Хорошо. What is that book? Solution Destination. Solution деп жазсаңыз өзі шығады. English File деген кітап бар. Ол да жақсы. English File менде бар. Неде де бар. Телеграмда да бар. Сол жақтан кіріп қарасаңыз болады. Can you give more information about who is author? Сұрақта берілгенде The Circus деп жазды. Ну, хорошо, ладно. The Circus болса, The Circus болсын. Тоже пойдет. Вот, солай. Так, бір-екі лайк басып қойыңдар. Аман болайық. Хорошо. Үш-ақ адам қапты. Қалай болса, нормально болатыр ма? Бүгін 50-ші күн, тағы да иншалла 50 күн істесек, 100 күн болады. 100 күннен кейін басқа серия бастайтын шығармын, потому что IELTS-тың уже майын ағызып, жілігін шағып, айтылатын зат қамайтын сияқты ғой IELTS-та 100 күннің ішінде. Қазірдің өзінде уже кейбір заттар айтылып болды. 50 күн. Тағы да 50 күн істейік, иншалла, қаншаға дейін барады екен. Сосын 50 күннен кейін, тағы да 100 күннен кейін бітіреміз. IELTS туралы 100 күн, кәдімгі күнде, тағы да 50 күн иншалла істейміз. Одан кейін басқа серия бастаймыз. Басқа, может, просто неге шығамыз? Прямой эфирға. Why another language? Vita Corleone, why another language? What do you mean, why another language? That I started to speak in another language. I was saying, I was asking, I can't understand, I'm sorry. I was asking about our lessons, because it's been 50 days today. It's the 50th lesson. It's the 50th day that I'm doing these live lessons. And I'm thinking about doing it for another 50 days, so that in total it would be 100 days dedicated to IELTS. And I'm saying that in 100 days, probably there wouldn't be any questions unanswered about IELTS. I think that 100 days for IELTS will be enough. Then I will start another series. I don't know what series yet. I don't know yet what series I would be doing. But we have about 50 lessons left. Another 50 lessons. Okay, so this is the half of our way. We will do lessons on IELTS another 50 days, and after 100 days, probably I will stop. I will do another series. I don't know. So that's why I'm saying this. Okay, so бүгін эфир қатпады. Listening дамыту үшін тек дайындаймын, шығады өлең дегендерді жасамадым. Okay, I'm really happy that today we didn't have any technical issues with our live lesson. And in order to improve listening, you only listen. No, you shouldn't only listen. You should do active listening. Active listening means try to get specific information. For example, you need the number of people who attended the concert, for example, right? And you should try to find how many people went to the concert. Okay, so this is called active listening, not just listening to understand the whole audio. You cannot, it's very difficult to understand the whole audio. You should, first of all, before listening, you should set a goal on what information you should find. Then you should start listening. Okay, don't just listen without any agenda. Okay, have you ever applied for IELTS? Thank you. Okay, so actually I took IELTS 7 times, so don't worry, I have some experience in IELTS. I have taken IELTS many times. My first IELTS was in 2012. In 2012, I took my first IELTS. Okay, thank you. Аға YouTube'ға task 2 туралы көп салыңызшы десем аз екен. Task 2. Task 2 in listening or task 2 in writing? Also task 2 in writing. If it's writing, yeah, I can explain it tomorrow. Tomorrow I can explain writing task 2 in detail. Okay, I will explain it specially to you, special for you. Okay, tomorrow's lesson I will dedicate to also and my students who are interested in writing task 2. Okay, I can explain it in detail, no problem. In Telegram I saw about task 2. Okay, in Telegram I saw about task 2. Yeah, there is, but I haven't explained it in detail. I can explain it tomorrow, no problem. Yes, yes. First of all, try to in Barron's book. In Barron's book, they have listening, and also in Test Builder. You can find the book Test Builder. It's called Test Builder on Telegram. Download this book. Find the audios on YouTube, and then you can practice listening with the Test Builder. Okay? No, I want to listen your experience because my first exam will be at the end of August. What specifically do you want to hear? Because my experience is different. I have many types of experiences. I had my tests on paper, on computer, and the highest score I got was 8, and I got it when I took it on computer, not on paper. On paper I don't like it. I like it on a computer. So, experience. First of all, when you go to the examination, try to have enough sleep before it. Don't go there tired. Don't go there tired. That would be your mistake. Because you have to sit there for 3 hours. You have to work for 3 hours. And after 2 hours, you will feel very tired. That's why go there. So the day before the examination, try to go to sleep earlier, so that you can get enough sleep. Okay? Also, when you are doing preparation for the examination, for example, you have an exam at the end of August, right? I don't know your current results. What are your results in listening right now? For example, how many points you get out of 40 questions in listening? How many points you get out of reading, out of 40 questions? What is your point in writing? What is your current point, right now? How many you get in speaking, for example? Have you checked it? Okay. And what score do you want? So if you are getting 6 and you want 6.5, it is possible. But if you are getting 6 and you want 7, it's difficult. It's possible, but it's difficult. And you don't have time. In order to jump from 6 to 7, you should have 2 months of preparation. Not not 2 weeks, 2 months. Okay, so your writing is 6, speaking 6.5, reading 6.5, listening 7.5. Not good, very good. If you improve your reading and listening up to 8, you can get 7. I promise you, you will get 7 if you improve your listening and reading. Your writing and speaking is good right now. Don't worry about writing and speaking. You can work on your reading and listening, improve it up to 8, and you can get 7. You can trust me. Especially you have about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, right? In these 2.5 weeks, I would recommend you to work on listening and reading, improving. Work on specific parts that you get the lowest. For example, in listening, there are 4 parts, right? Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Work on each part. So, for example, in part 1 in listening, try to get 10 out of 10. In part 4, try to get 10 out of 10. In part 2, right? Part 2, try to get at least 8 or 9. You can get 1 or 2 mistakes in part 2. In part 3, try to get at least 5 out of 10. You can get higher, but not lower than 5. Because part 3 is the most difficult. Okay? In reading, there are 3 texts. But don't look at the text, work with the types of questions. For example, if you have troubles with true, false, not given, work on true, false, not given. If you have problems with matching headings, work with matching headings. Okay? Also, about reading, you can download a book which is called Reading Masterclass. Or how do you call it? Let me show this book. I have shown it several times. Let me show it to you once again. It's called Reading Maximizer. Yeah, this book. Okay, let me show it to you. Reading Maximizer, this book. Reading, okay? You can download this book from the Telegram channel, and there are many exercises, many practices divided by the types of questions. They are not divided by the text. Okay, text 1, this question, text 2, it's not like that. It's type of question, this, and exercise. Only this type of question. For example, true, false, not given. True, false, not given, exercise 1. True, false, not given, exercise 2. And that way you will work on each type of question and you will improve your level. Trust me. You can believe me. Okay, and if you get your listening to 8, if you get your reading to 8, you already got 7. Okay, and if you keep your writing at 6 and you keep your speaking at 6.5, you can just improve your listening and reading. That's all. Okay, it's possible for you to get 7. You are close to 7, very close. What's your actual IELTS score? So Dexy Pony asks, my actual IELTS score is 8, but it was 6 years ago. It was in 2020 when I applied for my master's degree. But after studying at master's degree for 2 years, I have improved my writing and speaking. Now my writing and speaking is a lot higher than it was 6 years before. And I haven't retaken it yet. But probably my level is not 8 right now. It's maybe higher. I haven't checked it yet, but I feel that it's higher because I have learned many things about writing and I have practiced many speaking. That's why. But listening and reading are 9. My listening is 9 and reading is 9. Okay, was that helpful? Okay. Can my reading and listening score up to 0.5 to 1? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So, for example, until the end of August, how much time do we have? Okay, let's see. No, just take it. We don't need it. How much time do we have? We have 1 week, 2 weeks, and 2.5 weeks. Okay, so we have 2.5 weeks. So you have 2.5 weeks. In these 2.5 weeks, I would recommend you to do listening for 4 days. Do listening for 4 days, only listening. First day, you can do only part 1 until you get 10 out of 10. First day, practice only listening part 1. Second day, practice only listening part 2. And so on, part 3 and part 4. Okay? Then, stop doing that and move to reading. Also dedicate 4 days. In the first day, like, you can divide it by the types of questions. So, for example, first day you working on true, false, not given and fill in the gaps. The second day you're working on in which paragraph is mentioned and matching headings. In the third day, another type. In the fourth day, another type. Okay, dedicate 4 days for reading. And then dedicate 2 days for writing. First day is writing task 1. Second day is writing task 2. And the last 2 or 3 days dedicate only to speaking. Okay, speaking part 1, speaking part 2, and speaking part 3. If you prepare separately each part, you will have better progress. Not preparing everything at once. Prepare separately. You will have a better progress. Okay? And your score will jump. You can trust me. It will jump. Don't worry. Okay? So, I think we are at our... Okay, so these are the things that we have learned today. This is my TikTok. Just please subscribe to my TikTok because I need 50 subscribers at least to go live on TikTok. Now I have 20 something, 23 or 20 something. Okay, now I have, let me see, how many subscribers do I have on it's 23 now. Now I have 23 subscribers. I need 50. I need 50 subscribers to go live on TikTok. I want to go live on TikTok actually. Not only on YouTube, but on TikTok as well. So I need 27 more people to subscribe to my TikTok so I can go live there. Please help me, please. Okay, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit a like here, send some hearts, send your love. Okay, if you like this lesson. Now my part 1 and part 4, 9 to 9 or 10. Yes, if your part 1 and part 4 is 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, then you have to work on part 2 and part 2 and part 3. Yes, also we gotta go. Actually, I gotta go. I have some stuff to do. And thank you all for coming. I hope today's lesson was very useful, and we will see each other tomorrow at the lesson. Don't worry that you missed the lesson. We will see you. We will meet each other tomorrow. We will have lesson tomorrow, and we will discuss writing task 2. Okay, just remind me that I might forget it tomorrow. So who comes first? Please remind me that we are discussing writing task 2. Okay, I might forget it tomorrow. The meeting time is 9 o'clock in the evening by Kazakhstan time. Look up the Kazakhstan time and look up what time will be at your country when we will have 9 in the evening. Tomorrow I will go live on at 9 in the evening, and I will be waiting for you there tomorrow. I mean here tomorrow. Okay? And please subscribe to my TikTok. I need 50 subscribers. Thank you all for coming. Lots of love. I'm happy that you are here, and I believe that you will all get what you want if you keep watching these videos. Okay, so it was nice seeing you. See you tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay strong. Bye guys, see you tomorrow. Goodbye.